And good evening, everyone. Bonjour, hola, hello to everyone who is watching us from the comforts of their own home or on their phone, if you will. But to welcome back to the Elite Insight. This is your AEW pay-per-view post show here at BC Wrestle Pod. Of course, my name is Mikey El Jefe at BC Wrestle Pod, and joining me this evening to talk about this French Canadian pay-per-view, Mr. Bear Dito himself. And well, I'm still on the fence. By the end of the night, I'm going to determine if this crowd was as bad as I thought it was. And the short answer to that is probably question mark, but who knows? Just kidding. Honestly though, I'm excited. I actually enjoyed Redemption. But we're gonna talk a lot about this pay-per-view because we're gonna talk about what worked, what didn't, and some of my spicy takes in terms of how the internet has been responding to this. And I'm just like, damn, the internet is weird. Anywho,
So,
it's gonna be
greetings
yeah,
and salutations, people of the internet, and Mikey. Let's rock and roll.
absolutely. We are not gonna waste time this evening because we got 11 matches and kind of honoring a wrestling family legacy to also talk about, as well as however long this is gonna take. So we just gonna get into it. Y'all know the drill where you can see us go live, find our social medias, our merch store if you want to donate to help us pay for pay-per-views. Because August is jam-packed and I don't understand why, but it is okay though. It's gonna be a good time. Alrighty, let's get into this. So tonight we are talking about AEW Redemption. This is the first of its lineage in AEW. They decided to have another pay-per-view, which happens to be in July between Forbidden Door and All In. And I'm just like, at first I was like, why? There's already so many AEW pay-per-views, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna spend $39.99 for this. I'm always gonna get my money's worth, but we gonna see how this works out because I have never seen AEW fans and just the internet fans in general be so divided when it comes to this pay-per-view. Because leading into this, I saw, and we talked about this before, so many people were so not okay and willing to shell out the money for this pay-per-view and call this a filler show. And to those people, I mean, you're kind of right, but at the same time, though, we got a lot of stuff set. We set up a lot of the big title matches for Wembley out of this show too. So I'm just like, we also got some really fun surprises because we got lots of title changes, which we're gonna get into as well, which is cool. And I'm excited. Titles changing at pay-per-views? Who knew? So we're gonna discuss all of this, but let's talk about. We're gonna start with the buy-ins slash 0 hour because we got two things to talk about that before we get into everything else. Because I knew this crowd was gonna be a problem because I should mention comes from Montreal, Quebec, Canada for all of this. So we are in Montreal for this pay-per-view. And on the buy-in, celebrating 80 years of and I'm gonna horribly butcher this, the Roger Wrestling Dynasty. I believe that is how you pronounce it.
Rouge, uh, Rougeau. Rougeau.
Rougeau. Got it. I want to do my best. So Rougeau. So who better to introduce the Rougeau family or the Rougeau brothers than Montreal's own Daddy Magic? I love Daddy Magic. I truly do. We're gonna talk about him more on Thursday because he was on commentary on a certain show.
I miss Daddy Magic on commentary so much. Can we
Oh
have
my
him
gosh.
with Paul White, please?
We don't break it down on Thursday, but he is definitely an upgrade from our commentary team from Mystery Wrestling 26.
Well, it
But
was
more
only
on
up
that
from
on
there.
Thursday. So I have no idea. I had to do some research about the Rougeau family. And I was like, damn, they do have a staple hold up in the Canadian wrestling scene, which is cool. And then I read that, you know, some of them played heel for a good chunk of their career. I'm like, oh boy, let me guess how this is gonna go. And the French Canadians in that building, let it be known, they were booing. They booed this man, and he fed into it and cut a promo in French, and the crowd was just playing along. Love it. Also, hi Nick. Thank you for trolling our chat.
Good evening. Good evening, Nick. One thing I liked about this was that personally I was a fan of the the Rougeau brothers, way back in the day, right? And Jacques Rougeau was probably best known in his run in the WWF as the Mountie, right? And his tag team partner at that time was one Pierre Carl Orlet, PCO, right? PCO's still going, man. It's unbelievable, unbelievable.
I don't know all the behind the scenes, but I was so mad when TNA let him go. I was just like, why?
I know, right? Do you see that MLP match that he had with
That man can still go, and I was just like, he's also in really great shape too. I was like, get it.
yeah, a great presentation, love it. But back to the Rougeaus, right? Like th- there might be a little bit of a little from column A, a little from column B here, right? Like the the Rougeau family, were always heels, but Jacques is also a prick. He's easy to say. Like,
You don't say. I kind
yeah,
of
yeah, I
figured
know,
when they
right?
were booing him out the building.
I mean, like he did like ban Kevin Owens, uh, from like participating in a lot of shows around the area because
Mm.
he was his trainer. So, but that's not my story to tell. But this was a really interesting segment, and thank God it was saved by Rocky Romero, as always.
Yes, we got the crowd to actually cheer for the Rougeau because Rocky Romero comes out and talks about the only family in wrestling that anyone should care about is the Don Callis family, and the Rougeau brothers, along with Daddy Magic, just beat up on Rocky Romero, and everyone cheered. I was like, okay, that's how we do it. Now, let's move on though, because let's talk about the only match we got on the buy-in, which I'm not gonna lie, I was very shocked we only got one match on the buy-in show. That was crazy. Because usually I'm
Yeah,
used to like 3 or 4, but we only got 1. But this was a fun one. We had the AEW World Trios Championships on the line on the buy-in. Of course, our champions, the conglomeration of Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly, taking on the Lethal Twist, which of course is Jay Lethal, Lee Johnson, and Vanilla Baby himself, Blake Christian. This match was so much fun. Oh my goodness.
that the Lethal Twist are really coming a long way, man. Like I'm really happy for him. Lee Johnson, he's always been great, and he's really stepped it up in the past year or so. What can you say about Jay Lethal that hasn't already been said?
For
Besides the
reals.
fact that he's just amazing, and seeing a happy Jay Lethal just makes me happy.
Happy Jay Lethal is always Beth Jay Lethal because then he's always going to be doing everything possible to make y'all have it. Like, are they now part of the demand? That answers that
I
question is probably at this point, yeah.
yeah,
Or at least
I
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
yeah, exactly. Uh, so now it's like a double trio, the Lethal Demand, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, I, I was saying that it's funny, like watching Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Jay Lethal on a pay per view. Even though it's a buy in, it's still on the pay per view, right? I never take that for granted because these are 3 guys that they said that should never make it. So fucking A, let's go.
No, absolutely. And the Lethal Twist works very well as a heel faction and foils to our babyface champions. Again, this match was really fun. Everyone got some really fun stuff up in. We tried to get shenanigans from Lethal Twist. Um, Roderick Strong, I'm going to tell you this because I love you. I need you to use Orange Cassidy as a weapon every time you have a championship match because the more you use Orange Cassidy as a weapon, the more I cheer. And more wrestlers should use their teammates as weapons because it's funny and it actually works out very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Unless it's in retaliation to something else.
that's true. I don't know. Listen, if we're building up to answer your question, Nick, who in any of this group is in demand, Ricochet included? Um, to be honest, I smell a stunt coming up very soon because I think we're somebody an ultimate group is gonna have to be built in order to for when the Don Callis family like inevitably implodes on itself, which may or may not be coming up at Wembley, but who knows at this point. Um, and yes, we're gonna talk about some of those in the main card too. Love how smart they make the refs in AEW, which is absolutely a thing that all companies need to do because for certain things, it makes good storytelling when you actually have your refs actually be competent when they need to be competent in these matches. But anywho, like I said, Roddy use orange as a weapon all the time.
Yes, all the reps are really, really smart. And Rick Knox old. It's the joke.
Ricky Knox. But the conglomeration hold on to their trios championships. They will also be defending these championships tomorrow evening as well against the Demand. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Um, if we don't, I think, and again, I don't, I don't know all this information. I'm just thinking at the top of my head. I think that we might be setting up on a massive 6-on-6, and we may or may not be getting some returns for the conglomeration crew in the form. No, Nicholas, the titles in the backpacks are epic. You're wrong. How dare you? Love you, friend. No, I think we might
Respectfully,
be.
I disagree.
Yes, respectfully, you're wrong. I'm just kidding. Love you, Nick. Nick's a personal friend, so we can jab at each other like that. But conglomerations retained. They are going up against the Demand tomorrow night in Detroit, Michigan. And yeah, looking forward to that one. All right. All right, Berdito, sir, let's get into this. Now we're at the main card. We got 10 matches, so let's get in here. I'm going to say this about the main card. What gave Double or Nothing an A minus is that the in order of the card really flowed very well. And I think that if AEW had all their pay-per-views have follow some sort of similar order, things would have been great. The reason I gave this a B plus is because the first three matches we're gonna talk about this main card absolutely slapped and banged. And then we kind of got into a little bit of a lull in the middle, and then the end was pretty decent. So let's get into this though. Uh, this is a whole ass car crash, and I loved it. What a way to start off the show, man! Just everybody with this match was hot. 6-way ladder match. Number one contendership for the international championship was on the line. Of course, the four that were hand selected to be in this match were Jungle Jack Perry, Commander, Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Beast Mortos. And then El Clone and Nick Wayne got their spots by winning some qualifiers on Collision. And thus, this is the crop of six we had. And hot damn, they all did really great stuff in this one. This was so fun.
This is incredible. I really like the fact that they started out the entrances on the pre-show, so that way when they open up the show, they go right into the match. And boy, was this crowd happy to see Speedball, and that warmed my heart, man. Like you know, uh, I heard somebody say the other day that this match was sponsored by Visa. 'Cause seems like they all just sort of went to Canada to avoid the whatever hiccups they've had. I kid around, but Commander was absolutely fantastic in this. Like, he's really hit or miss with me. Like, it's just that like he's fine. Sometimes the rope walk spot gets a little bit much. Like, yeah, we've seen it before, but he hit that table perfectly. I've never seen somebody do a springboard dive that hit so flush. And
Oh,
him
he was
holding
right on the money.
back and like him holding back El Clone while Speedball was like ascending the ladder was like such a great babyface moment. Like,
Oh, absolutely. So there were
was it
some.
Speedball doing the ultimate weapon like
Yes, and
on the
Nick
ladder?
wants to.
Oh my god!
Nick wants to see that spot more. Yeah, Ultimate Weapon is one of my favorite move sets and finishers that Speedball has, and I love it when he does it because it's incredible and it looks devastating. But there
Hmm.
were so many incredible spots. I also need to shout out like the delayed Pele kick from El Clone always looks great. Beast Mortals tossing around fools. The
Yeah,
Phoenix Splash from Nicholas Wayne. Oh my lord, that was a thing of beauty as well. Like this match ruled so hard.
yeah. But you know, uh, I I take it all back. Last week I was saying that like uh, they didn't bring out Mother Wayne or Kip Sabian with Nick Wayne, and I think there's a reason for that because he can now stand on his own. Like he's come back so confident.
Oh,
Like
he has perfected being a dick, and I love it.
yeah, like there's a few guys on the AEW roster where you just like they come through the curtain, you're like, oh screw this guy, you know.
Nick was
Like
definitely
I don't even
playing
know
it up.
why.
Nick was playing it up. This crowd was booing him, and it was fantastic. But lots of fun stuff. But ultimately, Speedball grabs that contract, is the winner of the ladder match. And just to kind of fast forward it a little bit, later on in the evening, talking to Renee, he announces that he has set the match between him and the winner of Kyle Fletcher and Bandito for Grand Slam Mexico coming up next week. So I'm excited. Oh man, Arena Mexico is about to blow. I mean, they always blow the roof off the place, anyways, but even more so for that match. I was like, Tony Khan, great match for Grand Slam Mexico. Hell yes. So good. I cannot wait. But yeah, this was again, fun opening match. And then it just kept going because, ooh, listen, I need people to stop saying that the Bucks don't know how to tell a story because mm.
Whoever says that don't know how to tell, don't know how to listen to stories. You know?
But yeah. So to set this up before we talk about the match itself, this is a tag team match. Of course, this is the first this is the Death Riders in the form of continental, not intercontinental, our continental champion John Moxley and the number one contender Owen Hart winner to the AEW World Championship, Will Ospreay, taking on the Young Bucks. And I said it in our go home show. I was just like, I don't know why we're having this match, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. And then by the end of this match, I was like, this match was great. Like, oh my goodness, this was just fun. I was a little surprised to see this like be second on the card. I thought it would be towards the middle at least. But with everything that had transpired to the rest of the show, I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. The Bucks are also having a fun time again now that they're back to super kick party iterations of them, and it shows in their work, honestly.
Yeah. I had missed the Death Riders entrance for Osprey because I had gone out, gone to the bathroom or whatever. and I came back in, and everybody was already in the ring, and this I love that they threaded this story throughout the night. Is my point, right? Because they were telling you through from the entrance, like something has happened tonight. Like there's been a shift in dynamic, right? And then Nick gets knocked loose. He gets his screws knocked loose, and Osprey doesn't want to pull the trigger. So, uh, I love the fact that like Nick gets knocked loose to the point where he can't make the tag, and then he gets the tag to Matt, and then Matt's getting the crap kicked out of him, but Nick's still on the outside, all loopy, so he can't help. You know, so like, what a great story in this match is what I mean. Like,
Well, and then it also helps, develop Osprey because again, the biggest question, since joining the Death Riders is like, yes, he's become more intense. We saw that in his match against Adam Brooke on Collision, where he just continued to forearm the back of his neck. And that intensity is there now as he learned it from Death Riders. But the biggest question is that whether or not Will would be ultimate babyface or ultimate heel going into and out of All In, which is coming up shortly. And we started to see the direction that we possibly might be heading. The jury's still out because things can change between now and Wembley. But Moxley was ready to pull the trigger. Osprey was like, no, don't pull the trigger. And that ultimately cost the Death Riders the match in this one, which, Osprey couldn't pull the trigger, and thus the Bucks capitalized. And I figured Mox was going to take the pin, but even still, I was like, whoa.
Also, real quick before we move on,
Mm-hmm.
Will catching Nick out of the Meltzer driver, like he does the flip, and Will catches him like powerbomb style, and then transitions that into a Styles clash. I've never seen anything like that. It's like, oh my god, like it's so crazy.
Again, Osprey keeps like showing off things he can do. It's just like, sir, you've been holding out on us, and I'm kind of glad that you have because it makes it even more entertaining when we finally do get to see it. But again, the Bucks do win this match. Moxley and Osprey would be um there's going to be a lot of friction for the remainder of the show, and I will forego this now because later the night we do see that Mox. I love it. It's to me, it's hilarious to watch. But Renee is interviewing Osprey. Moxley comes in very heated, very hot. Um, and as he's waving his arm around, I'm just watching him. It's just like almost hit Renee again. Like Renee is like trying to not get hit by Moxley's arm, but yeah, Moxley was very upset with Will, and he told him that if you're not going to pull the trigger when it matters the most, then I will. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah, uh, I really like that promo from Moxley. Like, and it was a great, actually great delivered promo by both. What what I was laughing at was like, Renee, that is your husband. Like I know it's not on screen or anything, but like, could you be like, John, what are you doing? You know, like you're willing to
Be like,
kill
I need you to
somebody.
move like 3 inches to the left. Like, I
But I
know.
did like I
Oh,
did like the Tom Waits voice, like I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. You know, I guess that was a little bit more BKM, but you know,
I was just like, when Moxley gets angry, I was just like, oh, he about to go there. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be fun because Crazy Moxley is always fun too. And we will talk about that at the very end because all that transpired after our main event. But we move on though because oh my gosh, Listen, it hurts my heart because I want Bandito to actually win. That's my only big critique about this match. But this match, though, uh, holy hell! This is probably my favorite match of the night. I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. This is probably one of my favorites. I think, not to say that Bandito has been bad, but I feel like this is the most intense I have seen Bandito in a hot minute. And Kyle Fletcher made him like take it there with him because Fletcher was also giving that intensity. This shit was awesome. Like, no notes. Like, I don't know what else to say. I highly enjoyed this match. I do want Bandito to win some things when he's in this pay-per-view because it's the third pay-per-view in a row that our boy has not won. And I want him to win a pay-per-view match, damn it. But this match was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. They did a little. I'm gonna be an old grumpy old man right now. They did a little bit too much in this
Do
match.
it. Be a grumpy old man.
Like I'm not saying it was bad in the least. It was actually it's on my match of the year list because we knew it was going to be a match of the year candidate going in, right? And that they delivered. I think they could have tightened it up a little bit, like shaved a few minutes off this, but like because I don't like people seeing people get dropped on their heads. I'm sorry, I do not like seeing that happen. And
Lord,
when you're going for that top rope brainbuster, we know what we know what you're about to do. You're about to drop somebody on their head. And if Bandito didn't get a stinger from that, I'm so surprised.
seriously.
Like, that was
I was like,
so gross.
Kyle. I was like, Kyle.
And Kyle doesn't have the best track record in not hurting people. So, because, I digress. But, this was fantastic. It was everything I expected. I just wish that they did a little bit less.
I agree. And I also agree with you that we could have shaved at least like 5 minutes off and it would have been a perfect length. Like, because this was, I don't want to say it was overkill because when we get to the no holds barred, that was overkill. But yeah, I agree with you. I feel like we could have shaved a couple minutes, saved a couple of spots, but still really fantastic stuff. I want Bandito to win, Tony. Let this man win a pay-per-view match. And Kyle Fletcher is still our international champion, which will be him and Speedball at Grand Slam Mexico next Wednesday.
So, there's one last thing, interesting little thing I want to say. Bandito is probably one of the best overall baby faces in the game right now, right? And him doing the what is it going to take space, after a kick out of 2, with just emoting through his body language is just so perfect, man. Like, which is something I wish other people will do more, but we'll get there.
Yes. Ultimately, honestly, I feel like because we always say that, a good wrestler can be both a heel and a baby face when the time calls for it. Bandito to me is one of those people is just like, you keep him baby face forever. Like, he truly is the people's baby face champion. Like, honestly, I was just like, do not turn this man heel.
Yeah. And like, it's like the gimmick in itself is sort of like, man, is that guy a heel? But then like you just like see him and you're like, I love this guy.
So, not to get too nerdy here, but Bandito as a pure baby face and keeping him as a pure baby face, and I mean this with all love, so I don't want people to come for me in the comics. Bandito gives me Jeff the Shark energy from the Marvel comics, like protect his boy and this baby bean forever. Like, he is too precious, and if anybody hurts him or makes him mad, we gonna fight. Like, Bandito is the Jeff the Shark of AEW.
Fantastic.
So, I loved it. But yeah, this match ruled easily on my match of the year list. Gonna have to come back and see if what ends up truly be my end of the year match of the year, but we'll see. Alrighty. So again, first three matches, bangers, crazy energy, really fun way. And then this is the part of the show in the second act where some of the lull, I am going to say it was 50-50. Some of it was the crowd, some of it was just the way that the match was going, but we're going to talk about it, so let's get into this. So, this double chain match, man, I don't think it was bad. I actually enjoyed this match if this was on Dynamite. I think that's the biggest problem. I feel like this could have been a really fun match on like the Go Home Dynamite, or since we're going to be in Detroit tomorrow, we could have had it there. But to put this as a pay-per-view match was a choice. And honestly, I feel that the feud so far shouldn't have warranted the chain match until maybe like we could have just had a regular tag team match between these two, and I would have been okay with it. And then if it led to a double chain match like in Detroit or down the line, like cool. But I also feel that we kind of sped up to get to this point because Jay White is back, and that's my only issue with the build up. The stuff that we got in this match was actually really fun. I winced every time that the chains were getting whipped around. Juice has found the mojo that, or the anime power that is within his mullet, because that man is always on 10 and never seems to tone it down, and I love him for it. I was a little perturbed with the Death Riders coming in to help. It makes sense because they got a working relationship. We've established it, but I was just like, damn, the Death Riders are going to be all over the show. And spoiler alert, they were. um, Again, I didn't hate this match, but if I had to rank everything, including the buy-in trios championship match, this would be towards the lower end of the list. Not because it was bad. I just felt like it didn't bring the pay-per-view caliber match that was needed for AEW pay-per-view, especially with the track record that we've gotten this year with AEW pay-per-views, if that makes any sense. I love everybody involved, don't get me wrong, but that is my say. Mr. Bertito, how do you feel about this match?
Yeah, it's sort of similar. I'm going to keep this one short. Like, this didn't work because it was like, in my opinion, it was too soon for this stipulation, and it didn't seem like anybody really cared about having a chain match, and it probably should have been a shillelagh on a pole match. Like,
honestly, that would have been entertaining.
that's what I'm saying. Like all four of these guys are like really entertaining. So like, why are you leaning into the hardcore stuff? Like, go
okay,
goofy
so
first. Like you have to go goofy before you can go serious. You know.
Exactly. And you bring up such a good point too, because we talked about this on the Go Home show last week. The build up to this match has been goofy. The promos that they have been cutting, like we had a whole like Sarah Bareilles like Save the Animals promo from the Bang Bang Gang against the Dogs. The Dogs fire back in their own goofy promo. We kind of bypassed
How did we get here?
Yeah, we bypassed a couple of steps in order to take it from those goofy promos to which I would say is just like, this is a hardcore match. Like, we have bypassed a couple of storytelling points here.
But that's the story of the past 2 months, to be honest with you. Like all across AEW, it's like these threads aren't threading, you know. Like, but it was fine. Like, it wasn't egregious or anything. They got in, they got out. My only issue with it is that, like, I don't know the well, as I said, is that like it escalated a little bit too quickly to the chain match, and I still don't know the connection between the Death Riders and the Dogs. It's a Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd wasn't a Death Rider.
Like, they have joint custody of Gabe Kidd. Honestly, is what I'm assuming.
there's a lot of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of relationships in AEW right now. It's like
Gabe Kidd is the child of two divorced parents in the form of the Death Riders and the Dogs. They share
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
custody of him, and he jumps between both of them whenever the circumstances rises. But again, to wrap this up, I didn't hate this match. I did think it was fun. It's just that the stipulation did not make sense for the story we were telling going into this match. Because now I'm trying to figure out where do you go from here? Because obviously this isn't over. So unless you give me a street fight or a 2 out of 3 falls match, like where are we going? Like you had a chain match. Now we just need to see blood. But hey, I'm happy that Jay White's back, but still. Anyways, the Dogs win thanks to interference with the Shillelagh from the help of the Death Riders, and this feud isn't going to be over, so we move on. Now, this one is where I'm going to blame the crowd for this one. This crowd sucked during this match, and I was very upset for both of these women because Maya World versus Hikaru Shida for the TBS Championship was actually really solid. And I know we talked a little bit about wondering if Maya is going to be ready for if she continues to get, put in these positions. And honestly, I still think there's some stuff that she needs to work on, but Sheeta is a really great dance partner, in my personal opinion. Sheeta does very well working with all types of people, and she made Maya look great in the points that needed to be. I also really love that Sheeta got cocky and she was hitting hard and she didn't let up on Maya, and it bit her in the ass in the end, which was fun. All to say, this crowd sucked, and it did not. I was so mad for these women because they were very not interested in this match, and that is my biggest problem with this match. Is this crowd did not help, and it's already hard enough for the women's division in AEW to get the praise and the kudos and the flowers that they deserve because they be killing it. And this crowd did not give that energy for this match, and I'm upset. That's my TED Talk.
Well, I'm not trying to offend these fans, but it was built within the week and had no promos in between. Like, so what? Like, they essentially came out here cold, and yeah, Maya's still got a lot of things to work on. She did this match was not egregious. It was fine. I think that Sheeta's character work is not really translating into her in-ring work all the time. Like it's a little bit inconsistent for me. But I still like everybody involved here. Like I'm not just trying to like crap on everybody because I love Sheeta. I always will. Maya, she seems to be doing all right. I really don't get the hype from the internet, but I do think that she has a lot of potential. I'm really not looking forward to the matches afterwards, but that is what it is.
Yeah, Maya's gonna have a lot of she has a lot of work cut out for her, and so she's gonna need to. Honestly, I love Maya to death, but I also agree that this is a shit or get off the pot moment. It is you step up or you step out. Like this is really gonna be the litmus test, and I'm a little worried that Tony put her in this position too soon because I don't want her to. How do I say this? Because I don't think she's horrible because I've seen worse wrestling, but she has a lot of the fundamentals and a lot of some stuff that she needs to polish up on and work on, and with more in-ring time and more experience, she's definitely going to learn that. She has some really strong foundational skills there. My biggest worry is that Tony put her in this position too soon, and the pressure of being a champion is going to. I don't want to say that Maya can't handle it, but again, she's going to need to find a way to kind of deal with that pressure as a champion. But my biggest fear is that being put in this position too soon, I'm worried for Maya to be attacked on the internet like we've seen other people who've been put in positions too soon in AEW's tenure, because the internet is fucking brutal out here. And people need to mind their P's and Q's, but it's a thing that's part of the industry, unfortunately. And I just don't want Maya's love for wrestling and her passion for it and her spirit to be crushed, because we've seen it happen and it's not a fun sight.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that happen. She has a lot of potential. It's just that it's a lot of things. Like that kick out. That kick out was awful. Like I could even just watching it on television. Like respectfully, and like I can never tell what she's setting up because she always has her face down. Like or like is she like transitioning like from on the ground, like she's not selling on the ground, she's just waiting for the next spot to happen. Like you can see her counting in her head, like, and I wish her the best, to be honest with you. I don't want to get on down on her. I wish her the best.
No, she's gonna have a lot of work to do, and I want her to prove me wrong. I really, really do. Um, and actually, I don't blame her. I blame Tony putting her in this position so soon. I know that he loves her, and we know if Tony loves you, you are going to be. If Tony loves you, in terms of booking, you're gonna always find something to do. I just hope that Maya steps up, and we'll just see how this goes, because like I said, she's got a lot of work to do, but I'm also going to defend her for people who are going to come after her and just be rip her to shreds. That's my biggest worry. I don't want to see her get torn apart, but hopefully she will prove us wrong and she'll get better as time goes on. But we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm also bummed because I don't know what's next for Sheeta, and that's the other thing that kind of bums me out too, is because I feel that Sheeta is a good hand, but I want her to be rewarded. Well, I mean, she's a three-time women's champion, a TBS champ, and all that good stuff. I just want her to have something of substance after this, is what I'm trying to say for her. Because I think Sheeta has earned it at this point, in my personal opinion. Anywho, enough of that. Maya World is your new TBS champion. We're going to see how it goes for her title reign, however long it may go. I need people to stop sleeping on Pac, because I think his ring IQ is probably some of the coolest things that I have seen him do. Like, he just knows. He like has a game plan and he executes everything beautifully. And that ring IQ of his is a weapon, and I love watching it. And then Claudio's just beating up folks. I kind of expected it. I was still very surprised to see that like 90% of this match was Death Riders just whooping on ass on Cope the whole entire time, and then Christian trying to come in and also getting his ass handed to him, and then like 10% Cope and Cage actually putting up a fight. I was like, damn, Claudio and Pac are running over these boys, running over the champs hardcore. I was entertained, but I was like, damn. I mean that in a loving way. It was just like they just ran a train on them boys. I was like, holy crap, man.
Yeah, they really did. Like, we want to talk about the heel heat, man. Woo, boy, they shut this crowd right up. Like, but they blew the top off the place once, a couple of times during those hot tags. The one thing I noticed, like, is, Christian is so great, man. Like he's like on the ground selling for like half this match, and he finally gets in. He finally gets the hot tag from, and he starts doing his hot tag or comeback, and he's still a heel. Like he's like nothing has changed. You know what I mean? Like he's still a jerk, but he's a good guy. Like, oh, it's like this. one of those things that only he could pull off. Is what I mean. Like, uh, you know, I really like this match a lot. Like, I thought Claudio and Pac. I was like, why haven't they been a team more? Like,
honestly, of all the Death Rider team ups that we've gotten, Pac and Claudio are probably my favorite. Like my favorite equation of the Death Riders when they team together. Honestly,
yeah, cause they was just snuffing them out. Like, there was this one time where like, Pac had blind tagged himself in on Claudio, and Claudio did something, and Christian reversed it, right? But like Christian didn't see the blind tag, so Pac comes off the top with an elbow, hitting Christian, like in the same motion as Christian hitting Claudio with something. Like it was unbelievable. It's like like they got the upper hand as Christian was about to get the upper hand. Like, oh
they
man,
shut that down real quick.
it shut it down real quick, man. To the point you wouldn't even have seen it if you weren't paying attention. Like
seriously. But again, because we are in Canada, Cage and Cope staged a comeback, which ultimately got them the win. I was just like I expected, but yeah, Pac and Claudio like took a car, ran over the boys, reversed it, ran them over again, and then reversed it and ran them over again for good measure before before Cage and Cope got like the last 2-minute comeback for the win, which I figure was going to happen. But
yeah.
Honestly, I really like this match only because I need to see more Claudio and Pac in the future and let them go after the tag titles because I think they'd be great. Speaking of tag titles, though, Cage and Cope are celebrating the ring. Afterwards, the Bucks come out and pretty much we've already established that they're number one contenders, and we get the official graphic that at All In as of now, All In Wembley for the tag titles is going to be Cage and Cope versus the Bucks, and I'm like, oh boy, we're going to see how that turns out, and we're going to have a sit down tomorrow night on Dynamite.
Yeah, FTR is not taking that leg down. So
I was like, oh Lord, here we go. Burt Reynolds and alleged aggravated assault with a gun are about to come back on my screen. No, I shouldn't say that. I love FTR, but they can stay gone for a little bit longer. They need a break, seriously.
I agree. A couple more weeks.
But if we're gonna add another team that's ready to go and we don't have to wait until a little bit later, I mean, we are in Detroit tomorrow. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anywho, let's keep this going. So now we're in like the final act. We are in the last couple of matches and varying results. So let's get into it because first up, no holds bar. Haymaker Chris Jericho versus Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso, you are my hero. You are my idol. I need you to beat up on more on mascot stuffies because that shit is hilarious. I was just like, and Aubrey, you were perfect playing along with that spot too because that was hilarious. This match was overkill though. I knew it was gonna get bloody, but hot damn, we had mirrors, thumbtacks glued to pucks. We had a trash can. We had barbed wire tables. We had a drill. We had lead pencil. We had sand. This was overkill as F. It was violent and bloody, and I loved it. I was just like, I knew what I was. Yep, I was just like, oh Lord. Oh, we had a. At first I thought it was a knee pad, but it was an elbow pad of tacks too. There was a lot that happened in this match. This was overkill.
Yeah, it was a lot. We had. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just gonna say that we had sand and sandpaper.
Listen, that what's crazy of everything that I saw, like I didn't flinch until the sandpaper came out because I was just like the texture just I don't like using sandpaper because like the feeling of the texture and like when you use it, like the vibrations that go through your hand when you're using it, just give me the heebie-jeebies. I know, weird. But watching Chris Jericho's sandpaper this bald man's head, I was just like, oh, I actually cringed. I don't know why, but oh, that doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah, it was awful. Like, it was a fun match though. Like, I really, no, uh, I like that it like started off with like the little bit of like sports entertainment style hardcore, and then became more bloody as it went along.
Mm-hmm.
Ciampa is absolutely fantastic. Jericho, I really like the way that he's working right now because he's not doing much.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like he's had like 5 moves right now, and one of them is a punch. You know.
He has entered the John Cena, school of wrestling, the 5 moves of doom.
Yeah, it's not there yet. It's not there yet.
No,
But
no.
but this is more akin to like Scott Hall, where it was just like punch kick, suplex. But I really like uh, you know I really like what was it, like the mascot bit. And to be honest with you, when the glass came out, I said I'm gonna go do something else. And
I remember you sending that in the text thread, and I was just like, hey, listen, these kinds of matches, there's just certain things everyone winces at. Like, I was just like, I can see the glass. The sandpaper was like, nope, can't look. Oh, God, that's awful.
Yeah, I've just seen too many bad things happen with glass in wrestling. So I'm like, I don't want to see that. Like,
which is totally fair.
Guts hanging out, and like there's a few things with Cruel that I've seen. Oh my God, I digress.
Listen, that Cruel horror story though, like I know what you're referring to. I'm like, yeah, that was awful. Oh my gosh, I don't know how they still alive, honestly.
That's why they don't use real glass.
Yep. Yep. We cannot. But Painmaker Chris Jericho wins this match after, putting a drill to Tommaso's head, which I was just like, oh, okay. Honestly, that was another moment I was just like, I know it's not really going through his head, but like, I'm just like, what is this? The 1800s? Why are we lobotomizing Ciampa here? What is happening? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I liked it better when it was Mance Warner and Epi, but that's just me.
They sold it better too, but anyways. But Ciampa and Jericho are 1-1. We are gonna get a rubber match at some point. I hope they don't need to pay. The rubber match does not, in my personal opinion, does not need to be in a pay-per-view slot, but we're gonna be in Vegas in like 3 weeks. So I would be okay if it's like a Vegas street fight or something. Let's end this feud so both of them can move on.
I gotta get the Wizard. We'll see Jericho's gonna pull out the Wizard.
Probably, but we'll cross that bridge and burn it when we get there. Anyways, next, let's get into our semi-main event, which, well, actually, no. Now we're getting to the final 3 matches of the night. First up, we have the AEW National Championship. Mark Davis defending the title against Andrade El Idolo, Mr. How You Know. I was very happy that this crowd was behind Andrade because I was a little worried that they weren't going to be, but I was very happy that they were behind Andrade. And I want to say, I need other wrestlers and other promotions and in AEW to take notes. Andrade has this amazing way to always like get the crowd to clap and cheer. And it doesn't feel, I don't know if this makes sense. It's not like forced. It just comes natural from him doing it, just his charisma. I was just like, Andrade knows how to work the crowd. And this is kind of awesome to watch that for Andrade. Like, I was worried that they won't boo this man out the building, but Andrade is living his best life right now. So I loved it. I really, really do. This match was nuts in the sense that Davis just brutalizing Andrade, and Andrade just also kind of giving it back to Davis a little bit. I was like, ooh, this was a meaty match in like a weird way.
No, definitely. Uh, you know, there was one point where like Davis went for like that sit out power bomb thing that the sit out pile driver thing that he does, and he grabbed Andrade by his ankles and like flipped him up and like hit a pile driver, and I was like, what? Like,
Mark Davis, like, okay, not to. I'm only saying this because, like, I'm not trying to make fun of or anything, but like, I'm gonna be so for real. If you look at Davis's physique, I was like, he's pretty decent. He's pretty, he's pretty like lean and in shape for like a more plus size guy. Like, but
yeah,
listen, those thunder thighs though, be like, Anyways, but he has so much untapped power. It is insane. And he is able to tap into that power and use said power in a very restrained way, if that makes sense. Like, it looks
yeah,
so effortless. Like, every time he just pulls out these, like, when he swings big with these moves, they look so controlled and refined. I'm like, are you sure you only picked up wrestling like when you were in your mid 30s and you're like only been wrestling for like 8-9 years at this point? Like, because it doesn't show, Davis. It doesn't show. It seems like you've been wrestling for like 20 plus years at this point. The control that he has as a big man is really refreshing to watch.
yeah, definitely. That's the guy's incredible. Like, and like Andrade's on a heater right now. Like, and that digital exclusive that they did after the pay per view, where like he was getting a little bit emotional. Like he was keeping it together, but like you could see the tears in his eyes, you know, and like how happy he was at the end, like holding up that title. Like, you know, I love the guy. I've always been a very big fan. You know, there's always been something not quite connecting. You know what I mean? Like, and I felt like that was the charisma. You know what I mean? Like he has like a raw charisma, but like the way that uh, uh but now we seem to be connecting all the dots, and it's firing on all cylinders. And much like Bandito, if Tony, I know he just won the title here, but if Andrade isn't in the main event scene at some point in the next few months, he's going to eventually cool off, and that's not what we want. You know, like he is
No,
so hot right
you,
now, literally
and
and
he has
figuratively.
yes, well, yes, like, re- actually be like, hey,
Mm,
but no, but in the wrestling sense too, like, and to add to the fact that organically his babyface turn for Andrade. Well, I mean, technically he's kind of been babyface since his return in AEW, but now he really is babyface, which is really fun to see. But yeah, man, Tony Khan needs to capitalize because again, and I don't want to belittle the accomplishments because somebody put it out on the internet today that AEW is not afraid to, because this creator was talking about how there are right now in like a bunch of promotions there are very little to none like black champions, and then between AEW and ROH there are a total of 7 black champions across the AEW and ROH brand after this pay-per-view, right? And I was like, I love that. I would love to start seeing AEW start putting the strap on some Latin superstars too, because I feel like AEW has the potential to do something great. All to say, I'm here for Andrade as world champion at some point in the next by the end of this year agenda. Put this strap on this man because listen, he got how organically over, and that catchphrase is probably some of the funnest things that I have right now. So
but his signature move right now is taking his pants off.
if you can get
Like,
the literally, if you
what
can get the crowd, you have the crowd in the palm of your hand when you get them to chant "Take your pants off," like, like, like no prompting, no nothing. They're like, "Take your pants off." I was like, Tony Khan, we got to do something with this man. Strap the rocket to Andrade and let this national championship run to be fun, but let's put him in conversation put Andrade in put Andrade in the C2. Like put him in the C2. Like I want to see Andrade in the C2. Put this man in the C2. Anywho, but fantastic stuff. I loved it. Andrade just looks like he's having a blast. And he not only is he connecting, but I also feel like not to get too deep into this, but I feel like his spirit and his soul is just like he's very free. Like he is living life freely now in this career. So at this point of his career. So I loved it. This was a fun match. Alrighty, let's keep going because we still got two more to talk about. Spoiler alert. I was a little bitch and I cried at the end of this, like wholeheartedly. I was so proud of my baby girl, Willow.
It's okay
And
to
also,
cry.
yeah, I will admit I cried my little eyes out when spoiler alert, I cried when she won this championship. I'm like, "Oh my god, we have been following you since you got here a couple years ago, and you are not only the third AEW wrestler to become a Grand Slam champion, you're the first woman to reach Grand Slam champion territory in AEW."
You know
This is
what's
another one.
crazy, right? Like as she said
Mhm.
at the at the media scrum, like she had the tag title, the TBS title, and the world women's world title all within a year. Like like she dropped the TBS title 2 months ago, like, and now she's champion. Like, and that's not taking anything away from Tekla, right?
No. Tekla has
Uh,
had an incredible run.
she made herself undeniable,
Mhm.
right? Like, because nobody because clearly nobody was Tony and nobody was Mercedes, so she saw that as an opportunity to use her over the top personality and push her way into the conversation, you know, and the title ended up doing what it's supposed to do. It elevated her to stardom. Wink.
No,
But
all pun intended, but
all the
seriously.
puns intended, man. All the puns intended. But like,
No.
with Willow, right? Like, I'll make it real quick. I'm sorry. I like as a homegrown talent, right? Like, there's some people that just jump off the screen, right? From the moment you see them, right? I remember bringing my mother to our AEW show a couple of years back, and she still remembers Willow when I bring her up. You know, that's connectivity. You know, like if you can remember somebody 3 years on, you're like, oh yeah, she was great. I'm happy for it. Is what I'm trying to say.
I am really happy for Willow too, and I'm really proud of Tekla. I'm proud of both of them. This match really made my heart as a wrestling fan happy because not only is Willow women's champion, which well deserved, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. I honestly don't know what the end result is going to be in Wembley, but honestly, I'm okay with not knowing because it's another situation for me personally. I will love it either way because Willow has a history of not being able to successfully defend the title when it's high caliber, and Mercedes can never win the big one either, and she has lost to Willow twice for championships already too. So it really can go 50-50 for me. But honestly, I'm really excited for Tekla. I'm really happy that people are finally seeing Tekla for the star power and for everything that she is. Like, nothing has changed. She has elevated the character for sure, and she's done more with it. But this is the same Tekla that's been in Stardom, and it's been fun that she's proved a lot of people wrong who were doubting her when she first came to the company, and now she's an undeniable star. So this match was a lot of fun. We had an interference from Sky, but Willow shut that down quickly. That spear from Tekla is always beautiful to watch. I love when Willow yells like just at the top of her lungs and just totally goes glamazon, and I love it. This was a really fun match, and honestly, I know people are worried that Willow is going to have a short title reign. I hope that's not the case. But even if it is, I think that Tony is, and honestly, because it's Willow, if Willow has somewhat of a similar run like Darby did, where she's defending that thing like on television as much as he can leading into Wembley, I am okay with it as well, honestly. So,
All I'm gonna say about that is we gotta normalize short title reigns. Like,
listen,
I,
I've, I
I'm
said,
over people doing 1,000 days or whatever. I'm over it.
well,
I'm over
let's talk about it really quickly because honestly, I personally have never seen this be such a contentious issue until people want super long title reigns, and I blame the trauma that was given to me from the 4 years Roman Reigns big dog reign of terror when he held those championships hostage for 4 fucking years. And I that turned me off to long title reigns and records on there because yeah, he had that thing for 4 years. Yes, he has a record. But damn, he ran through the men's locker room like 4 times. And it was like to the point where I was just like, it's just a shame. Shit, y'all. We need to stop wanting long title reigns. And people who still do, I was just like, listen, I don't know how you survived the trauma that was that Roman Reigns 4-year reign of terror. And I will stand by that statement. But champions, championships are championships. It doesn't matter how long you have them. Just like if it's a short title reign, if it's like a decent run, then that's fine. It's the number of days as champion shouldn't matter. It's what
yeah.
kind of matches and the quality of that reign was. Because again, I don't care what nobody says. People are like, Darby had a short title reign and it was not great. I was like, Bish, are we serious? I was like, that man defended it almost 9, 10 times before losing it to MJF at Double or Nothing. Like, the quality of matches Darby had as champion was baller. Like, so
Yeah.
quality over quantity.
Oh, 100%. And like, but I must. It's not really about how long it is. It's about how it makes you feel. Because that's really what we're here for. You know, how you connect with the story, whether that's how they get to the title or how they lose the title.
Mm-hmm. Seriously. But I am so proud and happy for Willow. I'm proud of Tekla. This was a really fun match, and I'm looking forward to it. As of right now, it is going to be Mercedes and Willow at Wembley, which should be a really fun time as well. And yeah, this was great. Alrighty, let's get into it. Finally, our main event, the AEW World Championship, Kenny Kenneth Omega versus the Jet Kevin Knight. This match ruled, man. This match really ruled. But goddamn, Kevin Knight had a wall to fight during this match, man. This crowd was not letting up on him, which I understand. It's Kenneth Mother Tucking Omega. Like Kenny is amazing, and he is a Canadian boy, so obviously this crowd was going to be behind him. But goddamn, Kevin Knight got no little to no cheers. And I'm like, holy crap, man! I know he's a heel, but damn, y'all. Like Kevin had a fight during this match. He was fighting for his life both against Kenny and with this crowd. Holy crap, man. This was insane. This match rolled. This crowd made me mad a little bit.
Well, yeah, he definitely got some really good heat in this match. Like, specifically, like when he jumped Omega during, like right after the introduction, and yeah, man, I'm gonna keep this one really short. Um, the the cleaner is back. The best bout machine is 1,000% back. The best big match wrestler of the last 20 years is back. Kevin, the Jet really showed up here and made himself made it known that he is a main event player.
100%. And I need people to stop saying that he's not ready because, damn it, Kevin Knight is ready.
To be honest with you, I think on the character end, like I don't think he's he should have been with the Don Callis family to begin with, because he needs more mic time by himself.
Yes,
right, as a heel. And another thing that bothers me with the same thing with Jet and the same thing with Kyle is that they don't really do a lot of heel stuff in the ring. Like they just sort of like rush through everything and still get in all their stuff. And it's like, could you take some of it away to make yourself less interesting? Because you're making me want to cheer you, and I really don't want to do that right now.
I love Kevin Knight and just how gravity doesn't exist for him. But you're absolutely right. Let's talk about the cleaner. So Kenny retains. Death Riders come out. Like they're about to stomp on this poor man's neck. Osprey comes out. You know, good good recalling stuff because Wheeler Yuta does the hug distraction like what was done to him. You know, with everything that's happening, Claudio's about to stomp on his neck, but Osprey pushes Claudio, gets the chair, uses it as a weapon. Moxley comes in, disarms Will, throws the chair out the ring. The plastic bag comes out, gives it to Osprey, telling him to do it, thus pulling the trigger. Will Osprey tries and attempts to rip up the bag, but the bag had a Hulk Hogan moment. It doesn't work for me, brother, as it was not cooperating with Will. And yeah, Will just completely is like, absolutely not, and turns his back on the Death Riders, which is insane. And I said this to a friend. Will now has made enemies with the Death Riders, the Don Callis family, and let's not forget, not everything is all keen and peachy back at home in Japan with the United Empire boys either. Also, Callum Newman being a petty queen on the social media to Will Ospreay is probably the funniest shit that you can watch right now.
I love it.
I love you, Callum. So there's that. But not to mention, Will now has to go in and he needs to lock in because what looked to be good friends and good competition, Kenny put this man like 10 years ago in the One Winged Angel. And I was just like, there are no friends at the top of this card. So I'm excited to see Kenny's explanation, hopefully either tomorrow or on Collision, whenever they decide to do it. But Osprey's got a long road to Wembley, and he needs to lock the fuck in if he's gonna take out the cleaner.
It's funny. Like I saw a lot of people just like, was that a heel turn? And it's like, no, I think Omega was just like, yeah, I told you this would happen.
It's really, to me, like, and I think you're the one who said this. To me, it seemed like Kenny's just being a veteran. He's just like, listen, I've played this game a lot longer than you have. You need to have this mindset going in. It's not that I hate you, it's nothing personal, but you better bring me everything because I'm going to give you everything to bring this title back home with me and keep it at Wembley. So Will's going to need to he's going to need to dig deep and dive into his playbook and bring everything out because Kenny is going to do the same, man.
Yeah. And oh man, actually, like, if anybody was listening to this, do yourself a favor before All In. Go back and watch their match at Wrestle Kingdom, and their match at Forbidden Door. Right, you will not be disappointed, and you'll get some story beats that may come up in the next week.
You will get some insights that are going to help you for the remainder of this month as we build to Wembley. I 100% back Benny in this one. Mr. Berdito knows what he's talking about. So honestly, alrighty, but that has been our AEW Redemption post show, and not bad. We kept it to an hour and 17, so that's still pretty good. But now we are officially done with like the majority of the summer AEW season. We got Grand Slam Mexico coming up next week. We are in Detroit this week, so some fun stuff. but we are officially almost 1 month away from All In at Wembley Stadium. Benny, it is gonna be insane. It's gonna be good, and I am looking forward to it. So, yeah, make sure you come back next Tuesday as we are going to talk about, the 2 shows for AEW that are taking place in Detroit, Michigan, this week. But we still got a jam-packed week ahead of you. We kind of been slowing down due to vacations and stuff like that, but now we are back as August is gonna ramp up with a bunch of stuff. But for this week, tomorrow night, we got NXT and CMLL as NXT is preparing for their next pay-per-view, Heat Wave, and then CMLL is preparing for not only Grand Slam Mexico, but for the CMLL Grand Prix as well, which I'm excited to talk about. But that's tomorrow evening. Thursday is also another double feature as hopefully Benny and I will be talking about some Mystery Wrestling 27, where we did see some Death Rider action, as well as uh, the whole entire Frankenstein story play in front of us. I was like, okay. Also,
That was
there
everything.
was a standing ovation for a certain tag team match, and I was like, yes, this match was awesome. We got a street fight, which I was very impressed with the girls, which we're gonna talk about on Thursday. I was like, yes, queens. Um, we're gonna talk all about it on Thursday. So that's Mystery Wrestling 27. And then later that evening, I will be here to talk about Progress Chapter 196, Scorchio, which saw the return of Miss Nikki Storm, formerly known as Nikki Cross. I'm so happy to see her back in the ring.
The best in the galaxy.
Oh
So
my
glad
god,
to see it. So glad to
the
see
theme
it.
song she's using is amazing. I was like, the UK is always using the 90s pop, and we love to see it. But on top of that, we got a blood debt match, which was I had no idea what I was going to expect, but that was fun. Simon Miller out here being my favorite internet personality and wrestler. And we have a return of Shaw Samuel, somebody who I really love in the UK wrestling scene. So all of that on Thursday. And then Friday, you got TNA with me and Will. And then Saturday and Sunday, of course, everybody and their mother already knows what's going to be happening. We will be doing a watch along for night 1 and night 2 of SummerSlam. I'm still a little miffed of what this is going into, but you know what? I don't blame the talent, but it's still gonna be fun because me and a good group of friends, we're gonna talk a lot of shit. And sometimes that's all you need in wrestling. But I'm here for it. It's gonna be fun. So me and Benny are gonna get up on out of here. But thank you so much for tuning into our Redemption post show. I will be here tomorrow for NXT and CMLL. But until then, from all of us here at BC Wrestle Pod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you tomorrow. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.